All right, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. It is the only upload today, and I'm so sorry. Just technical problems. I'm a one-man crew, so I've got to do the technical work and the content and everything, and so. But I'm here with a very positive update. I know you will love it. We have agreed personal terms with Sambi Lokonga. That's the first thing. But we are also looking at Aston Villa, coming in with an improved offer for Emil Smith. Well, look, we're gonna discuss that. We're also gonna go into details with the Albert Sambi Lokonga deal. Arsenal did go in with a second bid, which is around 17 million euros. Underaged are looking at around 20 million euros, which is around 17 million pounds. So a lot to talk about in this one. I'll give you a little update, a very little update about Ben White. But basically, I'm gonna speak about Lokonga and the personal terms. What could be in his contract? What do we expect, and when do we expect this signing? And obviously, speak about Emil Smith Rowe and Ben White. So let us get into the video. Please do smash a like. Make sure you've subscribed. That is a favor I'm asking for. It's just a humble favor. So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that everyone can actually know that you guys watch Cossy Media. And honestly, the videos are brought to you by One Expert. Make sure you do check out their website. The link is in the description below. Use promo code Cossy Media so that you can actually win up to $130 just in bonuses on your first deposit. But they also give you a 200% bonus. So that means if you deposit $100, you'll be able to redeem up to $300 in on your first deposit. So I mean, they're a good betting company. Betting is not acceptable to persons under the age of 18 years of age. So let us get into it, and a couple of reports that I need to discuss, but I will start off with Albert Sambi Lokonga. This is according to AFC staff. They have said Arsenal have made a 14 plus 3 million in bonuses offer for underaged midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga. The player already agreed personal terms a week ago, and I didn't know about this. This is a little bit ridiculous, really ridiculous. I didn't know about it, but according to this was according to Scavatellia. They were saying that the latest on Lokonga, Arsenal have submitted a second bid some hours ago, which falls short of underage's valuation of 20 million euros. We are gonna speak about that. A third offer with add-ons is likely to get the deal done. Arsenal agreed personal terms with Lokonga some days ago. So the first thing we know is that we have agreed the personal terms with the player. That is a deal clause. I think it was yesterday when I said the player had agreed to join Arsenal. There were no personal terms, honestly. I think it was more of Arsenal reaching out on to the agent of the player, and then talking casually with the camp, and getting that acceptance, getting that approval from the player and the parents and the people around him. They know what, it's a good deal. It's an open deal. It's an open deal. We will join your club. Now today we are confirming again that Arsenal have agreed personal terms. That includes the contract length. The details have not actually been revealed yet, but I think for a 21-year-old player, you're not agreeing a deal that is 3 years or 4 years. If you're looking at massive development of talent that eventually is gonna give you money, like the business model we want to run, bring in young players, develop them, and eventually sell them. If you're looking at that kind of business model, then you're looking at giving players like Sambi Lokonga 5 years. It should be 6 years, but obviously it's always 4 to 5 years. So I think Lokonga is gonna sign a 5-year deal. Look, this is not really this is not really from any source. It's out of your common sense. If you know how transfers are structured, if a player is below the age of 24, they are going to be getting a 5-year deal at a club like Arsenal. So I think Lokonga agreeing personal terms, that is closer and closer. Like I said on Sunday, it's just a matter of time. It's either Monday, which is today, personal terms are agreed. It's either Tuesday, probably the third bid could be accepted on Tuesday. It could be Wednesday when Arsenal come out and say, you know what, we are very close to getting in Lokonga. It could be Thursday, Friday, but in this week, our first signing is gonna be Sambi Lokonga. I've been watching Charles Watts today, and he was saying that one of the first signings Arsenal are going to make, one of the fingers crossed, because he likes the word, and it's kind of a lucky charm. It's kind of a lucky word. But he was saying that at least you can confirm that Lokonga is gonna be the first signing Arsenal make in this transfer summer, and I believe it is not a lie. I think it's gonna be the first signing. I've said this and I'll say it again. We are frustrated, we are tired, but when it comes to who signs first, it's gonna be Albert Sambi Lokonga. So his agreed personal terms, like I said, it could be a 5-year deal. In terms of the wages, if we are tabling a 4-year contract for Hausem Awa with 100k per week, and the likes of this, players that are developing into senior players like KNT and at the club, have been given contracts to earn around 100,000 pounds a week. I think Lokonga could be earning around 40 to 60. That could be range, because I don't expect him to get the same amount of money as Thomas Partey, or the same amount of money of as Hausem Awa if both of them join the club. So getting on our wage scale, the way we pay our players, I think his price, his wages could be around 40,000 pounds to 60,000 pounds per week, and for me that's good money for a 21-year-old player. You've been playing for Anderlecht, in Belgium, coming to the Premier League. You're playing with one of the legendary clubs. A club with big heritage. You're getting a big stage. Eventually, you can sign for any other club, because Arsenal is not one of those clubs that's that stand in your way. They always let you go. They've always had that that look. It's kind of it's kind of sympathy. I hate it when we let our best players go. I want to keep my my best players, because that gives you the ability to develop better and better and better. Personal terms are agreed. A 5-year contract, is what I anticipate, around 40 to 60,000, to 60,000. I think there will be add-ons when we go back to the Europa League, when we go to the Champions League. You're gonna get those bonuses as a young player and things like that. So look, I think in the next week, in the next 2 or 3 days, we will get the real way the deal is structured. But at the moment, what I can confirm is that we have agreed personal terms with Albert Sambi Lokonga. First signing incoming, getting Arsenal. We need Ben White, we need Madison, we need more players. We've been given the money. Let us go for it, Arsenal. We need to get back to that level where Manchester United feel that Arsenal is coming at the Old Trafford. We need to prepare. We've got to go back to that level. When we go to the bridge and we can break the waters there, you go to the Anfield and you make sure that they walk alone. That is the level we've got to go to. But I need to speak about Ben White just in a minute, like I promised. So with Ben White, the situation is Arsenal first looking at Sambi Lokonga, and this week we expect another huge update with Ben White. So that's according to Chris Whitley. He says there could be a very big update with Ben White this week. PSG have been interested, like I say, like I reported yesterday. They came in, they showed interest. Like I said, they have that manager that has been in English football. They have that manager that has been at Spurs. So I'm not really surprised that Mauricio Pochettino is interested in Ben White. But at least what you have to know is we are leading the race and we are closer. So this week, expect a very, very big update from me and the likes of Chris Whitley and Charles White on Ben White. So lastly, let's speak about Emile Smith-Rowe and Aston Villa, because this is becoming a big problem, and I will not articulate those abusive words, but I put them on my screen for emphasis. So according to Now the Arsenal, they've said Aston Villa are planning to submit an improved offer for Emile Smith-Rowe with a bid in the region of 30 million euros. Now what I've seen today is Manchester City, this is according from Fabrizio, Manchester City have look, it's not 100, but it is. He says it's a record bid. It's a record offer that they have made for Harry Kane, and they're planning to make a record offer for Jack Grealish. I think City is the only club that will sign Grealish, or will try to sign Jack Grealish. And what Villa know is this is the best time to do business with Jack Grealish. Last summer, look, that was COVID-19, and it was so fresh, and that hit everybody. So you can be in that you can be in that situation where you're like, what, we're not selling. We'll wait for next summer when the waters are a little bit calm, when the sea is a little bit navigable. At this point in time, this is the best time to sell. Next season, you never know what happens. What if he gets a long-term injury? What if whatever happens? He's 24 years of age at the moment. You've got to sell him. So what they're trying to do, they have signed Emi Buendia. Look, it makes me sick to speak about that deal, but I think they're preparing for the exit of Jack Grealish. He's their captain first and foremost. He's their leading creator, and almost their leading player in terms of short creating actions and things like that. So in terms of progress, the only player Villa have is Jack Grealish. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to find a possible replacement, so that when the likes of City come in, they have replaced him. And they're looking at Emile Smith-Rowe. Good scouting, Villa. Very, very good scouting. I think when you have Emile Smith-Rowe and Emi Buendia, you do not actually you don't lack the presence of Jack Grealish. Look, what Arsenal will do is reject this. We have tabled a new contract for Emile Smith-Rowe. I don't know when he's gonna sign it, but I think he will sign it. Fabrizio said we have very good a very good relationship between the Emile Smith-Rowe camp and Arsenal. So we are waiting for that. Villa did come in with an early bid of £25 million earlier, and they reported about that. We rejected it. Look, I think Arsenal do not have interest in selling Emile Smith-Rowe, and like I said, that is not a deal you do at this point in time. But I'll speak to you tomorrow with more transfer news around James Maddison, around the likes of Ben White. But the major story, we have agreed personal terms with Albert Sambi Lokonga, and our second bid is just below the valuation by €3 million. So the next bid should be seeing this deal off the line. €20 million is what they want. I think it's a very exciting young man. We will do a skills reaction tomorrow about Albert Sambi Lokonga. I'll speak to you in the next one. Have a blessed night.